And with that being said, you also mentioned diabetes. I've actually met one person before born with juvenile diabetes, right? And so it is a challenge to maintain. You just get used to it. But can you talk about that challenges that has had in your life, the impact it has had on your family, and how you were able to overcome those?
Yeah, one thing, it is very challenging, so hard to manage. Like so the goal is to have your blood sugars in a range, but having type 1 diabetes is not related to your diet. It's related to genetics. So your pancreas just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It's not producing any insulin. So it needs a little help. So we have insulin pumps, or you can take injections like shots multiple times a day. I was diagnosed at 14, so like preteen age. Thank goodness I wasn't younger, because honestly, it was suck not knowing how to feel like a regular person. Like it's crazy. Like I really can't remember the last time I felt regular.
Mm.
Anyways, but yeah, so this particular disease, if you do not take care of yourself, you will be in the hospital like easily, like that. Blood sugars go up, or low blood sugars, it'll take you out if you don't take care of it. But I have been so blessed. I've only been hospitalized once after my actual diagnosis, and just because of a toothache that turned into a whole hospital stay. One little thing can just make this, I guess your body just reacts. It's like a shock to your body. Yep, I was in the hospital just one time in 11 years, and that's very unheard of. A lot of people don't do that. And I've just been on it, like on top of it. I'm like super particular about what I eat and like carb counting. I have my time where I have my sweets and fast foods and stuff like that. But it's all about moderation. So I think I have it on lock. It's been 3 years, and my A1C is like your average glucose. It's like a regular person's right now. So my
Mm.
doctor is blown away every time I go. She's like, "How? What are you doing? God." That's all I can say. God.
In the building. Oh no, that's awesome. That it's not awesome the condition, but it's great to see how you have overcome it. Because that's the reason why I'm bringing this up, is because when you're transitioning into tech or
Yep.
anything really, but especially into this field, there are a lot of things you need to overcome. Whether it's the interview process, oh man, how do I do this thing? Or if it's just getting the concepts together of, okay, this is how the sales cycle works, objection handling, and you got to be highly coachable, because there's going to be things that you're doing that somebody's gonna be like, listen, that's not right, and if you don't get it right, you ain't gonna get your quota, and if you get your quota, then you got to find something else to do, right?
Yeah.
So it's something where you have to learn how to constantly get over and handle objections and learn and grow. And so the fact that you're able to do that, and hopefully those that are watching can see from your example that you can do it too. You have to overcome those, jump those hurdles, and you could get to where you want to go. So let's get into it. So we've talked about the stocks, and so the stocks were doing so good.
Yeah.
The what? Why even go into tech? Why even go to tech? Talk about that transition.
Let me tell you, stocks was doing good. The mentorship was doing good. Everything was going
Well,
well. And I said, so I was at a point where I was ready to start diversifying, adding streams of income and all of that. So my next, I got source of income was Airbnb. I was excited. So let's try it. So I was able to get one property, did well. I said, let's scale it. I got five. Joseph. And long story short, I had it for 5 months, and the regulation changed in my county, banned Airbnb, and I was left with five properties. Had to pay the rent, had to
hold
pay the debt
on.
associated, the furniture, and my Airbnbs was over the top. It was like what do they call it, themed. So it was like I spent a lot of money, and once it was shut down, literally all of them in one day, I was like left paying back all this debt, like thousands of dollars a month. And so I was at a point where money was coming in, but money was going out real fast. And I
Yeah.
remember I made 300,000 like in May of last year. And I was just looking at my bank like, where
$300,000
my
a month? I'm sorry, you said $300 in May?
300,000? Yeah, from mentorship, stocks, business, and my Airbnb. So it was like all together in
I
profit.
love how you glossed over that. Yeah, I just did $300,000 in a month. Just usual stuff. I'm sorry.
Anyways, yeah, but it was like money was coming in from like my different streams, but it was going out so fast. My expenses, my living expenses, my own debts, and then business debt and rent payments. It was so crazy. It was just, I felt like living pay was like at a certain level. It still felt like I was living paycheck to paycheck. So I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? So around, let's say November was when I feel like it was probably like a dark month for me. I was just like, you know what? I give up. I was just so tired. I was like, so the thing was, I was like so afraid of like miss payments on my credit or miss rent, so terrified. So I was like just throwing money, trying to chunk down debts, just freaking out. So I gave up. I said, whatever, I don't care no more. I didn't want to talk to no one. It was like a little depression. Didn't want to talk to anyone. It was just bad. During that down month, November, I was like, all right. I remember my mom had called and she was like, how about you jump back into tech? Maybe you can do like something from home and all of this. And I was like, just my past experience working in tech and like commuting into the office and literally being on my deathbed, I was like, nah, tech was the word I did not want to hear. I don't want to hear it. She's like, you can work remote. I didn't want to hear it. And then literally, randomly out of nowhere, I see AO, Anthony O'Neill, and Cyrus. Literally, right when I said, I don't care no more, giving up. I came across the video and I was like, wow, tech sales from home? Huh? I said, okay, let me just dive into it. Let me just see. After looking at the video and everything, the podcast, I decided to sign up. Literally, my little $100. I had so much debt and like rent and stuff. Everything was allocated already. So I was like, all right, I got $100 to myself, to my name. I said, Mom, I was like, I need a discount. We found one. So I just spent my last 100, literally my last 100. And I was like, all right, we're going to make it shake. So I started.
When mom helped you out with that, you said $100 plus your mom helping you out?
Yeah, so my mom had talked about like tech sales before, but I didn't want to hear it. But she was like, she had information on tech sales. I didn't know that she actually looked at the podcast too. I completely zoned her out. I didn't care what she had to say. I didn't care. Then I happened to come across it. But she was like, there's a discount code. Just take the discount and apply it. So I did that. And then I started Course Careers.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So you're at a place where a lot of people are. I think a lot of people are. There's different levels of desperation. I mean, some people might be on a level of 3, 5, 7. You were like a 12, 13 out of 10 levels of desperation. Yeah. You needed to get into this space. And so that is amazing. So when you got into Course Careers, did you feel like, man, I just wasted my money? Or were you like, this is it, now I see the light? Talk a little bit about that period where you were evaluating Course Careers, and what did you learn that made you say, oh, I'm so glad I did this?
Yes. So when I first signed up and just started like going through the course little by little, I was like, I'm home. Like, I'm back, tech. I'm back. I was feeling so good because it felt like it was something I could do. Like, definitely, I would say having like a tech background, I don't know if it helped a whole lot because this is like a whole new lane, and it's a whole new lane. It's nothing I've ever done before. But it was just like, I can do this. I can do it. But yeah, it was great. The fact that it's self-paced and I know myself, I'm really ambitious. So if I say I'm going to get done in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it's going to get done. So just having like self-paced and not having a whole class and all that stuff. And you know me, sometimes I got to replay that video about 5-10 times just so I can understand. What did he say? Let me go back. Okay, let me get the definition of this word. I never heard of this word. No, I can take my time, but I can still go at my own pace. So I just love that. It was awesome. Yeah.
No, I agree. That at its own pace, man. Me and my children, I'm rocking one to bed, and I'm reading the book. I'm driving, and I'm listening to a lesson. I even had the audiobooks for How to Win Friends and Influence People and Financial Prospecting. I had the audiobooks for those, so I was doing laundry, listening to it. That's at your own pace. It changes the game for me, at least. So I'm glad it did for you. So now that you went through course careers, and then you decided to pivot into tech, they say, pivot into tech. How was that transition from when you landed a job, when you finished course careers, I should say, to landing a job? Talk about that transitional period there.
Okay, so let's see. I went through course careers. I gave myself a goal of 2 weeks. So the first week I went through the course, the Monday, the first day of the second week, I applied to 80 jobs. I wasn't playing. Applied to 80 in one sitting. It was actually
Quick, easy apply.
easy. It was all of them. This was
Easy apply, cadence.
yes. It was actually on New Year's Eve. I was like, I'm not having fun tonight. I'm applying. So I started December 18, started applying all of that stuff. Let's see. 2 weeks after that, so January 18th was when I actually accept the offer. But in between starting and going through like the whole job hunt and everything, that was an experience. It was, oh my God, opportunity left, opportunity right. So I was so overwhelmed by the amount of people reaching out, by the amount of interviews, people requesting book time on the calendar for your intro interviews, or recruiters reaching out. That was amazing. I didn't know that was going to happen. I was just like, oh, I'll be lucky if I get 2 or 3, but just so many just coming at me so fast. I was just so overwhelmed. But it was great. It was a great experience. The interview process and going over like rounds of interviewing and everything, that was different. It was fun. But now, after like actually accepting the job and stuff, like working in as an SDR, oh my God, thank God for course careers, because I don't know how the other people that was in training with me survived because, oh my God, I feel like I had an upper hand a little bit. Some of the jargon that they would talk about, that they would use in training and coaching and like the courses that I had to take starting my job, it was like I understood it because of course careers. So thank goodness.
Oh, that is something else. I have a little bit of background in sales. I was in solar sales for like 2 years, mostly inside sales, mostly inbounds. I'm both outbound and inbound actually. And I was just kind of so glad I did course careers as well, because it's just, even if you have a background in sales, there's different terminologies, there's different languages, and you don't want to be that one person that be like, yeah, I know what this is. And they're like, oh, what is it? And you're like, did I do that? You don't want to be that person. And so course careers helps you to not be that person. A lot of people that do go through it to get jobs as SDRs, whether it's through school or whatever, and they're like starting from ground zero versus somebody from course careers who's like, yeah, I actually know what you need. Man, that's so good. So now you're an SDR. Can you talk about life as an SDR? What does a day in the life of Paris look like?
Ooh, okay, life as an SDR. So first, I am an inbound SDR and I work for the channels. So it's like I work on the partnership with everything. Let's see, life as an SDR is definitely fun. I have so much fun, and I feel like when I first started, like we recently just started actually working as an SDR. We have been in training for a month. But anyways, March 1st was my first day as a full-time SDR, and I did not want to go on lunch break. I said, we gotta go on lunch break. I scheduled lunch break. I don't want to. I had so much fun. I'm still having fun. And every time I book an appointment, I'm just like, I'm closer to my quote. It's just, I'm having a blast. So fun. But anyways, let's see, day in the life. So I get up, I open my laptop, 9 o'clock. The first thing I do is like go over my calendar, see what meetings I have for the day, if any. And then of course I take a look at the demos and everything booked. The AEs take over and do demos and all of that. So at my company, so I like peek in, see how they're doing, making sure they closing. Just peeking in, listening to the calls and stuff, that sort of thing. And then after that, go through my emails, just make sure it's all cleared out from the overnight email. I learned that in course careers. Thank God I learned that, because It's clicking. And then after that, just go through my pipeline, contact those who I need to contact. Since I'm inbound, I get a lot of the leads that come in, and my job is to contact them and call them, qualify them, and send them over to the AE.
Nice. And so with that being said, what would you say is the mindset one needs to have to not only be where Paris is right now, but to scale from there? What would you say the mindset should be?
Honestly, the mindset, oh my goodness. First, I think you have to just be motivated because you are like working alone, like you really are working alone. You have a team, you have managers that's checking in, but at the end of the day, it's on us to reach our quota and stuff. So you have to be motivated. Mindset wise, you just have to keep pushing because sometimes you'll get that hang up. I got my hang up today. I got it today, my first hang up. And I was like, oh, wow. I was still talking to the man when he hung up. And I said, have a good day, sir. Have a good day. That's the mindset you got to have. Keep on pushing. It's okay. And every rejection just gets you closer to that yes. So that's the mindset to have. And it's okay to fail. I have failed so much. Oh, my God. Salesforce. I just want to get in the boxing ring and just, I don't like Salesforce. It has really, it's been the biggest challenge for me. And I'm just like, it's okay because of all the failures, man, since March 1st, wow. Since of all the challenges and the mistakes I've made, now my notes is just so beautiful and I could just don't forget my mistakes anymore. So it's just like I'm sharper now. So just learning from your failures and everything, but they'll be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the mindset to have, that resilience, that grit. That word feels like that's overused, but that grit to really be like, oh, this happens. All right, cool. I have had situations where like, how many times have we told you guys not to call us back? And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm calling you tomorrow. You just gotta keep going. You just gotta keep going and just have understanding that listen, we're trying to provide you with the solution. I had a conversation today. I said, hey, listen, I would hate for your boss to realize that he missed out on a great opportunity. We service over 120 million patients a year. So you to actually miss out on this, I would hate for him to do that. Plus, you could evaluate us for free. Let's talk. And I was able to book on that, praise God. But the mindset is just, hey, we have to be resilient. We have to be able to push through. And that's the mindset you need to have in order to kill it in this field. And if you know how to hustle back on the block, this is a great place for you, you to be because you got With that being said, thank you so much, Paris, for joining us. This has been a great episode. I love your positivity and energy, and I know that this is going to be a lot of people. Remember, y'all, write it in the comment section below. Write your notes down from this conversation that we've had. Tell Paris how much you appreciate her and what you've learned in this conversation. And if you are interested in course careers like we talked about earlier, feel free to, the link is below. Click, use a promo code, and get yourself into this space. But until next time, I hope to see you on the other side. Take care, family.